YouTube, and welcome to the first episode of your GUI series within the modding. So this is another episode of modding tutorials, and this is going to be the first episode of the GUI series, basically. So to get started here, we're going to have to, as usual, make a mod underscore file. So we'll call it mod underscore GUI. Like so. Then we're just going to add the usual extends base mod. Then we want our load method, so public void load. Oops. And our public string get version. Which will return (1.2.5) for now. So there are several ways we can do this, but the first thing we're going to do is create a new GUI test class, and this is going to extend GUI screen. Now before we can start coding in this class, we're going to have to figure out a way of opening it. Now we can do this in several ways. The first one I'll show you is this. So if we create a new integer called tick, in our load method we type modloader dot set in game hook. Three variables are this, true and false, like so. Then this will allow us to use the public boolean on tick in game method, in which takes two things, a float, two parameters, a float and a Minecraft variable called MC, which a Minecraft variable we need to import because it's not in the src package. And if we type at override and quickly just return true in here, we should get no errors like that. So now what we can do is type if well, firstly up here we can type tick plus plus. So our tick is going to increase for every tick in the game. Then we can type if if MC dot the world dot is new world, and basically this will say if they've just created a new world, then this will pass. And what else are we going to put? And say, for example, MC dot the world, dot the player dot capabilities dot is creative mode, and then we're going to put a exclamation mark at the beginning, meaning isn't. So if it's a new world and the player isn't in creative mode, then do the following. So that's what we've just done there. And we're also going to put another one, and tick is equal to 100. So basically this is going to increase when it gets to 100, and if it's in a new world and it's not in creative mode, then do something. And what that something is going to be is mc.display GUI screen new GUI test parentheses, and then basically that. Hopefully you can read that. So I'll just run over it again. We made an integer called tick. We set the in-game hook to this true false, so this method will run here. Then we increase the tick for every tick in the game, so this will keep going up. Then if the world is a new world, so if it's just been created and the player isn't in creative mode and the tick is equal to 100, then it will display our GUI test. So that's one way to do it, so we'll just test that. Well, we don't really need to put anything in that class yet, it will just bring up our mouse when it actually happens. So if we just go, oh no, that won't work, sorry, because it's not a new world. So if we create ourselves a new world, we'll just make it survival for now. And we don't want it to be in creative, because as we put, it won't run if we're in creative. When it loads, we should be able to move around for a second. Then there you go. Now we're in our GUI because we can move the mouse around, and I can't move around anymore. So that has opened our GUI. And there's nothing in our GUI at the moment. We will add to that later. But I'm just going to show you another couple of things you can do for this episode. So the next one we're going to do is create a new item. So public static final item. We're just going to call it GUI equals new item. We're going to make a class called item GUI in a second. Just give it an ID of 1000. I'm going to set the item name to GUI. Then within here we're going to do modloader dot add name GUI and call it GUI, not GUI, whatever that says. Then just for testing purposes we're going to add a shapeless recipe called new item stack. GUI, not called new item stack, sorry, but it takes the parameter of a new item stack which has our GUI variable in, and then in this object we have the, so if you don't know how to do this, go check out my, what are they called, recipe tutorial. But basically this is a recipe that will give us our GUI block for one block dirt. We're going to create our item GUI class, and this is going to extend item. And we're just going to leave it as is for now. So it's this is going to be our ID that we pass in, and this is going to pass it into the item class. And I'm just going to cough because my voice is right. That's better. Then we are going to go into item class. I'm going to search or find in this class by clicking Control F for on item. Right click down here, and we are going to copy this whole method, paste it there. Now what we're going to do here is type modloader dot open GUI. Then we're going to pass in this entity player variable and then new GUI test. So it's a similar thing to the one we did in our mod underscore class. However, we use modloader.openGUI instead of mc.displayscreen, and we also need to pass in the entity player variable, which is quite easy with this method. And I might just change the recipe to something like block wood or block planks. There we go, because I think I'm just using an old MCP, so it might already use that recipe. So if we go back into this world, obviously our GUI won't open because this isn't a new world anymore. But if we just grab ourselves some planks, we'll grab ourselves a log, turn that into planks, put one in the corner. Maybe if we just use normal wood it will work for some reason. Don't know why, but yep. Okay, so GUI So now we have our GUI item. If we right click on that, you can see we now have the mouse, and basically saying we're in the GUI and we can't turn. Hit escape and we're back out of it. So yeah, that's how you do it with that. You could also do a key binding, but I'm not going to go into that because that's a separate episode. But that's 2 ways you could open your GUI. So that will round it up for this episode. Next episode we will actually go into our GUI test class and look at some of the methods we can use. But I hope that helped you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next video.